Hello people, welcome to Makeup on Point. I am Christy. How are you lovelies doing today? I'm doing swell. Today we are going to talk about a lovely show, a golden show, a show for the ages, a show that many people love. I am clearly obsessed. We are going to talk about the Golden Girls today. It is a lovely show, and we are also going to age ourselves. I'm going to turn myself into a golden girl as if I was a golden girl in a show. I'm going to age myself, which I've never done before, so it's going to be a golden experience. So if you want to learn some golden facts about our golden girls and get some golden makeup done, tune into the next slide.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. My heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
Okay, so I already put foundation on, powder, roughly filled in my brows just as a base to start off this old age makeup. I'm gonna start with highlighting where I want my wrinkles to be, and then I'm gonna deepen them with this brow powder palette from Morphe. Side note, so I'm not gonna do a realistic old age makeup. I'm gonna do more like stage type old age makeup, so it's not gonna be like prosthetics and stuff. It's more just be highlighting and contouring all my wrinkles and stuff. So let's start from the beginning of our Golden Girls facts. So picture it, NBC Studios, 1984. Ideas for a comedy series about older women were spurring about NBC Studios. During promotions of Miami Vice, there was a parody skit called Miami Nice, which was about older people living in Miami, and it featured two actresses, Doris Roberts and Selma Diamond. Executive producers and the senior vice president of NBC Studios at the time were amused by this skit and started to envision a series based on that geriatric humor. So they met with producers Paul Younger-Witt and Tony Thomas, who were actually initially there to pitch a whole other show, but they were asked to work on our Miami Nice show instead. At that moment, Paul Younger-Witt actually asked his wife, Susan Harris, to write a pilot script for the show. And she actually found it very interesting. And she noted that it had a different demographic than what is normally out there. I have a weird mustache right now. So she worked on it, and originally NBC wanted to concentrate on a show of 40-year-old women and wanted to concentrate on that. But Susan Harris decided to write it for women in their 60s instead. And since her writing was so impressive for that script, NBC Studios just nixed their original idea and went with this and put a quick stamp on getting that pilot done right away. So the pilot actually aired in September of 1985, and it was an instant hit. The show completely broke the mold of a traditional TV family in primetime television, and they were talking about sex, and it was actually funny. I mean, not only was the show a hit, it was a show that kind of talked about issues that wouldn't be talked about a lot at that time. They tackled a lot of LGBTQ plus issues in many episodes, and they tackled even the topic of like HIV/AIDS, which was a scary topic in the 80s. And the episode actually took it in a way that wasn't involving sex, it wasn't involving gay men, it wasn't involving sharing needles. It was dispelling all like the common myths about the transmission of HIV and like just knocked it down. They concentrated on societal issues like race, immigration, discrimination on multiple times, and they even concentrated on issues within nursing homes of people being just kind of disposed of in nursing homes and just not being taken care of very well. It was a groundbreaking show that has issues that are relevant today, and I always recommend everybody watch it because among being an entertaining show, it actually brings up a lot of strong issues. And it's just such a great show. It won many awards, and the actresses actually won awards themselves as well and were nominated on multiple occasions. Hi, just editing Christy here. I couldn't concentrate fully on giving y'all facts while figuring out my wrinkles, so just gonna do a quick time lapse here and we'll be back to our regularly scheduled facts in just a moment. I think we're getting somewhere here. So speaking of our award-winning girls, let's start talking about them. Let's start off with Sophia, who was played by Estelle Getty. Now, Estelle Getty was known for her roles in community theaters and off-Broadway shows. She was most notably praised for her role in the Harvey Firestein's Torch Song trilogy during its original run in 1982. She auditioned for Sophia and was just impressive enough to cast. Now, the role of Sophia was actually put into the show to enhance the idea that 3 retirement age women could be young and help make the show feel it could be a contemporary young show with the relatable having a mom relationship within it. And I mean, the show made Estelle Getty an overnight success. And for her actually playing the oldest character in the show, Estelle Getty was actually the second youngest of the cast. And for her being that breakout star that we know and love, she actually struggled with stage fright while filming the episodes. She said she's had this continuous battle of stage fright and it made her more nervous working with major stars like B. Arthur and Betty White, and it even made her froze a couple times while being on camera. It is said that her stage fright grew worse as the show went on, that by the end of season 3 it became a serious problem and she had trouble memorizing her lines completely. She tried methods like hypnosis to help her with her stage fright. The show hired an assistant to help run lines with her before each taping. She even took to writing her lines on props, specifically like her wicker purse that she carries all the time. But it just became worse and worse, and it was later revealed that she was showing early signs of dementia, and it really affected her memory a lot, that after a certain point they completely relied on cue cards so she can do what she does best and perform on the show. It was honestly the breakout star. Without Sophia, I don't know if the show would be as successful or as great as it was with the chemistry they had with Sophia. So it comes to show you, you could see the most confident and best performance you could see on screen, but behind the scenes a lot can be happening and struggling. It's like, don't judge a book based on its cover. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, her hard work paid off because her performance earned her 7 Emmy nominations, and she won the award in 1988. For her makeup, since she is the oldest character in the show, in the beginning it took the makeup team about 3 hours to get her into her old age makeup with wig and all, which made it more difficult because I believe in between season 1 and 2 she got a facelift, which kind of made the team get more work to do. But after time of doing it over and over and over, the team got it down to a mere 45 minutes to get her ready before each show. So let's talk about Betty White and Rue McClanahan. Director of the pilot, Jay Sandrich, was helpful in casting for Blanche and Rose. Both Rue and Betty came into consideration as the series Mama's Family, which they were both in, had been canceled. Originally, producers wanted Rue McClanahan to play Rose Nyland, and they wanted Betty White to play Blanche Devereaux, because that was the types of roles they were normally in before Golden Girls. That's the roles they were mostly known for. However, they both decided they didn't like to be typecasted in that way, so they asked if they could audition and read the scripts for those opposite parts, and the rest is history. So they ended up listening to them, and Betty White got to play Rose Nyland, and Rue McClanahan got to play our Blanche Devereaux. Blanche Devereaux's character was described. Oh, I feel sexy in this makeup. Oh yeah. Blanche Devereaux was described as a more southern woman, and Rue McClanahan pushed for her to have a southern accent. But it was denied for the pilot by Jane Sandrich, but with the new director, Paul Bogart, he felt to be a better fit and was like, go for it. And it worked out for everybody. Rue McClanahan actually was nominated for 4 Emmy nominations for her role, and she won the award in 1987. So a fun fact actually about Rue McClanahan behind the scenes, she was an active supporter for gay rights and marriage equality. She was also a vegetarian, and she was a very committed animal rights activist. And as for Betty White was also an animal rights activist, and she's actively involved in animal welfare organizations. Betty White actually holds the record for the longest spanning television career of any woman, and is one of television's most beloved stars. Ugh. Betty White, love you. So let's talk about our last character, Dorothy Spornak. Now, in the casting phase for Dorothy Spornak, Susan Harris, the writer of the script, created the character with a B. Arthur type in mind. Now, producers originally envisioned Elaine Stritch for the part, but her audition completely flopped. Producers were also under the impression that B. Arthur was not interested and did not want to participate in playing within the show. So they actually asked Rue McClanahan to try to persuade her, since they previously worked on another show before, on the show Maude, that they became famous for. B. Arthur, upon looking at the script, didn't really want to do it, since Rue McClanahan and Betty White, at that time of her reading, were going to play the same parts that they're always played, and B. Arthur didn't want to play the same characters with Rue McClanahan as before, because what's going to change? That's really being typecasted. So she denied it up until the point that Betty White and Rue McClanahan switched roles, and then she signed on to play Dorothy Spornak, and the rest is history. Now, B. Arthur won her Emmy in 1988 for her role in Golden Girls, and outside of Hollywood, she was also an animal rights activist and a gay rights campaigner. And if you had any doubt that she wasn't a badass, she also worked as a truck driver for the United States Marine Corps Women's Reserve during World War II. These ladies are just role models and how we should all strive to be, honestly. That first episode, the pilot, attracted more than 25 million viewers, beating out The Cosby Show for the #1 spot in the ratings that week. Now, if that wasn't enough, the show was so beloved that it became a hit in 60 countries and was remade in England, Russia, and Greece. Even the Queen Mother loved the show so much that she wrote to all 4 actresses and asked that they do a live show for her and her family, which they did for her. Now, Rue McClanahan was a smart woman. In her contract clause for the show, she asked to be allowed to keep all of the wardrobe done, all the custom wardrobe done for Blanche Devereaux. And she actually had 13 closets filled with designer wardrobe. Smart lady. Now let's talk about the set real quick. Let's talk about that infamous kitchen table. Now, even though there were 4 women living in the house, there are only 3 chairs at that kitchen table. Now, this was strictly due to the limits of filming to avoid an actress's back to the camera, and instead of squeezing all 4 women shoulder to shoulder in that small little table. Now, B. Arthur was always given the center seat of the chair, and this was 1 because of her height, and 2 to always record her priceless reactions for, say, a St. Olaf story, for another Blanche's sexual escapade stories, or Sophia's Picture It monologue every time. Being in those kitchen scenes, the girls actually consumed, in their 7-year run, over 100 cheesecakes. Cheesecake. And in real life, B. Arthur hated cheesecake. Also said that B. Arthur did not get along very well with her co-stars either. Worked very well together in a shared mutual respect, but specifically Betty White and B. Arthur did not pursue a personal relationship. Now, Betty White stated in an interview in 2011 that she thinks it was because of her positive attitude and her perky demeanor that really got to B. Arthur. Funny that B. Arthur didn't care for most of the cast, that she actually preferred that they had their lunch breaks all together during their work days. Alright, let's finish this makeup off with our last 2 facts. Let's talk about the ending of the show. Now, during season 6, B. Arthur actually showed uncertainty that she was even gonna stay on any longer, because she felt the characters had been in every possible scenario, and she wanted to end the series while it was still successful. You know, instead of dragging it on and on and on until people are over it and then you kind of have to cancel it. During an episode, they actually had Debbie Reynolds guest star. It was on the season 6 episode, There Goes the Bride Part 2. Now, they brought Debbie Reynolds in to see if she may be a possible replacement for Dorothy if B. Arthur didn't sign on for another season. But it was just, you just can't replicate the iconic chemistry that all 4 actresses have together on this show. So upon seeing the episode and learning that fact that it's just not the same without Dorothy, B. Arthur actually signed on for a 7th and final season. And in that final episode, the scene where Dorothy is saying her goodbyes from leaving the house in the final scene, and Sophia, Rose, and Blanche are saying their goodbyes and waiting for her. And the actresses were told that B. Arthur was going to run back through the same door that she left in for a second goodbye. But B. Arthur actually came around the side of the house and surprised them. And the reaction you see in that scene is actually a genuine scene because the actresses weren't expecting that. And after she leaves for that second and final time, the actresses thought that B. Arthur was going to come in again as like another joke because they weren't sure. So them looking around, seeing if she was going to come in, was not acting. That was a genuine like response, like, is she coming back? Is she coming back? And then it ends. And then the Golden Girls finale was it. And Golden Girls were over, and they are a big hit even how many years later. We're in 2020, the show ended in 1992, so 28 years later, we're still loving Golden Girls. That show ended the year I was actually born. Well then, See, that shows how popular and great of a show it is, that even I was born when it ended, but it still had such a major impact on my life. Alright, well, I think our old age makeup is done. I'm about to go put on my wig, glasses, pearls, and outfit, and I will be right back. Hello, people. Well, kids, I hope you enjoyed this video. I've never felt so much more like myself in my life. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed our golden facts about our golden ladies. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, maybe share it with some friends, and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Also, don't forget to check out all the links in my description box below. I'll have a list of all the makeup I use, along with links for petitions and education that I think everyone needs to learn and know about our world. And always remember, be kind to others, love yourself, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.